The introduction to this video is a continuation of a storyline from these two videos. I recommend you watch those videos first if you want to keep up with said storyline for some reason. However, if you're uninterested in the storyline and just want to watch the damn video, skip to this time frame. Anyway, let's get back to the shitfest. Okay, it's pretty simple. I just need you to fly out to the Himalayas, find the game, and pick up his dead body on your way out. Got it?
Alright, I got it. Do you need me to do anything else while I'm there? You know, like get the body and throw it into the ocean, or maybe hide it in a dumpster, or chop it up into tiny pieces and hide it across several locations around the world?
Nah, don't worry about it. Just bring it to me. I can take care of it.
Oh, dude, no problem. I'm just super happy to be working with you. You have no idea how much of a huge fan I am. I was happy to just get a call.
Well, circumstances kind of led us to this point, so... Oh, hold on, I got a call on the other end. I'll be right back. Hello?
Oh, hey, dude, I got away from the Russians.
Wait, double agent? You're alive?
Yeah, what, you thought I was dead? Come on, man. Those guys ran their helicopters into the ground right after I hung up.
So why didn't you call me?
Yeah, funny story. I was gonna do that. But then I fell into a pit. It's really bad reception down there. Then the hallucinations started. I made friends with a pile of snow. You should meet him. His name's Jeff. He's really cool.
I don't care. Look, I don't need you anymore. I got someone else to...
Oh yeah, the game. Oh yeah, I found it.
You found it?
Yeah, turns out it was under my fedora the whole time.
What?
It was under my...
No, I heard you. But I mean, what?
Well, yeah, I thought a rather contrived storyline deserved a shitty anticlimactic ending, so, I planned ahead.
Okay, fair enough. But still, what?
Look, do you want this thing or not?
Yes! Give it to me now!
Well, here you go.
Finally. Oh, yeah. Thanks for the work. Payment will be in the mail.
I assume more rocks?
Exactly. Bye.
Alright, let's do this. Let's do it. I'm all spooky up. Let's do it.
Oh, désolé, je n'ai pas le français. À tout à l'heure.
Oh, okay.
Today's game is Revolution 60, and it caused... controversy. And no, this isn't a Halloween episode. This game has been a long time coming, and if you're a long-time fan, I don't think I need to tell you that. I've had my eye on Revolution 60 for over a year now, just waiting and waiting and waiting for the day it came out. The PC one, that is. I know the iOS version was out way before that, but I mean, who's gonna play that shit, am I right? No, not yet. Act professional. This is another one of those game review controversy review hybrids that I've been doing a lot of lately, where I review both the game and the controversy. But as with the case with Depression Quest, the controversy really isn't about the game itself, but the person behind it. The prolific Ms. Brianna Wu. Being one of the many people involved with the Gamergate controversy and subsequent aftermath, she's yet another person you either think is like totally fantastic, or the spawn of Satan and the inevitable demise of God. And much like with Ms. O'Quinn, I'm just really apathetic towards her too. Though I have followed her a bit more closely, and, well, she's passionate. I'll give her that. And we might as well get the controversy over with too, because once again, it's another one where I don't know what the fuck happened. There was a successful Kickstarter for this game in 2013, mainly for the PC version. Isn't that great when that happens? Something or other happened after that, and then the game got on the Steam Greenlight about a year and a half later. And there was another shit show there, I think, I'm not sure. And you know what, at this point I've just entered a constant state of confusion, where both everything and nothing makes sense, and the world doesn't seem to understand the situation very much either. Really, just watch the Depression Quest video again and you'll get the gist of what I think of this controversy. In a more dense, hyperbolic way, but still. There are also a few articles about the whole thing too, I guess. I mean, here's this Medium piece about how the PC version is apparently a scam. And if you're the kind of fucking individual that trusts whatever Locale and Kotaku and Action have to say, they got info too, I suppose. But you know what? Once again, take your pick. I'm much more interested in the game this time around than with the controversy, as well as with the company behind it. Revolution 60 was created by a small staff called Giant Space Cat, mostly consisting of women with Ms. Wu at the forefront. It describes itself as a Heavy Rain meets Mass Effect action game where apparently, one choice changes everything. Now, I haven't played either of those games, but story-based games are up my alley. I just got done with Chase Cold Case Investigations Distant Memories, and that was pretty good. Can't wait for the next episode, whenever that happens. The concept of Revolution 60 seemed intriguing enough too. I mean, there are the obvious caveats, but patience, children, we will get to that, And when the game eventually came out for iOS in 2014, it received heavily mixed reviews. Essentially, you either loved the thing or hated the thing, much like the main designer behind it. So as per usual, let's stick on that good old pretentious gaming critic hat and bring on a quick thought about Revolution 60 before delving in. The game starts out with you, Puffy Holiday, a member of a high-class agent team named Chessboard, infiltrating some enemy base for some non-specific reason. That isn't her actual first name, but I never figured that out, so I made one up. Along the way, you get introduced to 3 other main characters: Amelia, the engineer who does things, Minuet, the no-nonsense leader who also does things, and Unknown, the unknown person who does unknown things. Except at some points, the main character calls her Val, so she does have a name, but it's never recognized by the other 2 characters for some reason. Okay, forget it, moving on. The main plot involves Chessboard boarding the N313 space station in order to prevent a political incident between the US and China from occurring due to the malfunctioning AI controlling it. Various themes brought up in the plot include nanites, body modifications, robots, and a bunch of other shit. Well, the game certainly wears its inspirations on its sleeves, I'll say that much. It certainly is impressive that a story of this scale was attempted for such a small team on such a small platform. Now all they have to do is just wrap up these concepts into a cohesive, memorable, and enjoyable narrative and we're good to go, right guys? Guys? Hello? Anyone there? I got Swedish fish. Yeah, if I didn't hint at it enough, I don't like this game's story very much. It's got issues that need splaining, so to speak. What immediately jumped out to me about this narrative is that this feels like episode 2 of a 3-part series. Character relationships have clearly been established, and the game essentially shoves us into the middle of an ongoing mission with little to no context as to what's going on other than, this is enemy, this is heroine, you shoot enemy, other people show up, shitty action sequence, explosions, takeoff, confusion. These girls clearly know what's going on, but I couldn't really latch on to that particular train of thought. I feel like if they stuck in an intro sequence with the characters getting assigned the mission on hand, this may not be an issue. But even if that were fixed, there are still more problems with the story. For one thing, there is a serious lack of dramatic impact in here. Shit goes down rather quickly in this game, but I never felt any of the tension or drama the game wanted me to feel. Injuries happen, betrayals happen, conflicts happen, but there's no soul to it. I can name one reason as to why this stuff didn't work for me, but I'm gonna blame it on the writing and performances. To be fair, the writing is mostly okay, at worst just really mediocre, but the performances suck the life out of it. I was really excited to hear Maria Torres be a total badass again, but I was met with dull, monotonous snark, and the other girls don't help either.
Tango down.
My odds of completing this mission are better with you breathing.
You know, this is just me, but I only need to get my ass kicked by someone twice in one day to get the hint. I'm broken!
If you just ignore them, it makes them even crazier.
Problem eliminated.
Even this chick, whose personality I kinda liked, just cannot be taken as a threat due to the weak performance.
She's such a good little soldier. Shouldn't you follow your orders too?
My fellow Americans, Uguzi Boo.
With some better direction, I guarantee this would have been good. But my last issue, and the biggest one, is why this story is truly flawed. It's too big for its own good. Once again, I do find it highly ambitious to create a Mass Effect level story on such a rather simple platform like iOS. Perhaps too ambitious. There is a lot of lore in Revolution 60, a lot of backstory and setting, but most of that is relegated to loading screens and slight notions towards it in the dialogue. There aren't any methods of keeping track of this either. No logs, no data analyzation, just hope you have a photographic memory and try to keep those loading screen tidbits in your head. I feel like they crippled themselves right out the gate by making this an iOS game. They even had to cut out a few rather important scenes and save that for the special edition of the game when it came to releasing it on the PC. They say it was due to production costs, but it's more likely they ran out of memory. Honestly, it's kind of a shame because there is a good story desperately trying to happen here. But it's just not clicking. So, yeah, the story is kind of crap. But what about everything else? Does that fare better? No. The gameplay has you doing one of two things, QuickTime events or these grid-based combat sequences. The former is pretty much the same stuff we've seen before, though with these timing of the death style parts added in. This is probably the most fun I had with the game because they managed to keep you on your toes with it, and typing in words and such whilst doing something like hacking into computers or databases was pretty creative. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for the latter, because while I like the idea, the result is pretty dull. You only face one enemy at a time, and while they have different attack patterns, you're basically defeating them the same way over and over again. Shoot, slash, special attack, repeat until dead. The controls are also kinda iffy too. Movement is slow, and there's an occasional delay to your movements because it tracks nearly every input of the arrow keys, so I wouldn't recommend mashing those keys unless you want to screw yourself over. Finally, and this is the other reason as to why the story lacks dramatic impact, the sound design is incredibly weak. I mean, the music is fine, if kinda inconsistent, but could these punches and kicks and gunshots be any softer? And when it comes to visual design, oh dear lord, is this something. I bet that the first thing anyone saw when they searched for this game or saw an article about it were these very interesting character models. I'll be frank, this shit's ugly. Really, really ugly.
I'm broken!
To me, these girls look like humans that evolved from fish people, but they haven't quite gotten the mouths down yet. It gets even worse in the pre-rendered cutscenes, where the lines under their eyes give me the impression that these girls are at least 80 years old. Miss Wu herself did these character designs, by the way, and I remember seeing some concept art that, well, actually worked pretty alright on a 2D plane, but the transition to 3D just kinda fucked it over into, I don't want to say Uncanny Valley because it's too cartoonish for that. How about the Ugly Fish People Valley? Does that work? And I don't know, fuck it. Besides that, the rest of the visuals are pretty meh. I mean, the backgrounds and set design tend to be okay, if oversaturated in color, but the worlds feel empty and lifeless. There's barely anything going on or any sort of character I could connect to. You could probably get a bit more visual flair in the special edition, but from the looks of it, they made the lighting even worse, so I probably wouldn't bother. Also, contrary to what the developers say, the 4 hours of animation are not gorgeous. Competent? Sure, but also usually awkward and stilted. At least the frame rate is 60 FPS. Well, except during the cutscene. Oh my god. Why would you do that? At this point, you're probably thinking I'm gonna give this thing a mediocre tagline, and that's what it looked like for a while. But it did one thing that nearly pushed itself into complete shit territory. So there's this part towards the end with the katana lady, and you have to fight her again after already shoving her weapon through her chest. Robots are really expendable, who knew? Anyway, it's the same combat as usual, blah 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 blah. You run her health out and then you're supposed to finish her off with this QuickTime sequence. Okay, type this word in. Alright, got that done. Okay, hit the spacebar, there we go. Arrow keys, okay. Okay, there we go. And okay, spacebar, wait, what the hell's going on? Why is this thing I can't get past this! I am mashing this thing to hell. Are you? Oh no, Harry. This QuickTime fails you before you can even make a half circle, and there is no way out of it. Now, at first I thought, oh, this is how the story ends. I'm supposed to die. But after running out of the 6 revival syringes I got throughout the game, all that happened was they loaded up the previous cutscene and started the fight again. Meaning, I'm stuck in an infinite loop. And this isn't an isolated incident, this shit's been happening to others too. And I recorded this footage earlier this month, meaning the game has been out for a reasonable amount of time and this hasn't been fixed yet. I then emailed the company asking for such a fix, but I didn't get a response, and I wasn't about to ask Ms. Wu herself because she's probably too busy with her crap to deal with this. So my ask was pretty much DOA. Oh, and about that whole one choice changes everything? Yeah, I didn't get far enough on a second attempt where I played as a sarcastic dickhead instead of a professional dickhead to see. But judging from what I got, this is bullshit. Could I have kept going? Probably. There was that special edition with the additional plot points added in, which honestly should have been kept in the main game instead of being sold separately for half the price of the initial, but I didn't feel like immersing myself in a world that had little to no reason to be immersed in twice. In other words, I have better things to do than to continue to indulge in that shit. And now comes the part where we do a little post-analysis on the people who made this game. I don't think this will be a surprise either, but I don't have much faith in Giant Space Cat or Ms. Wu as a game designer in general. Suffice to say, I could just point out their negligence in fixing that glitch again and be done with it. But I have a lot more to say than that. Disregarding all the social justice nonsense and all that other crap, I just don't think they're very good at making games nor doing games business. I think it's all summed up very well in the way the PC version was released. As far as I know, it was going to be available as early as October 2015. Because that's what the website says. But that month passed and it didn't come out, and there wasn't any announcement about it either. Then, in January, Ms. Wu said the game would be submitted for Steam, which meant it wouldn't be out for another few months, but at least that was something. And then they delayed the game again just before they were to submit it with the whole, oh, we want to polish it spiel, but gave no possible release date in doing so. Now I get this is a small company, but even Mighty No. 9, a game so infamous for its constant delays, had possible release dates when Concept pulled that shit. Also, the website still stated the game would be released in October 2015, 3 months after they missed said date. And then 4 months later, Ms. Wu said the game was submitted for Steam. Still no release date, but at least we now know it's coming, I guess. All of this leading up to the game being released this past September. And I have checked. The website still states that the game would be released in October 2015. Now, I don't think there was any foul play or scam involved, contrary to popular belief, but this was pretty annoying, all things considered. That's not the reason I don't find this company as mediocre as their games, though. Throughout this whole cycle, they displayed a rather large amount of pride, at times comparing themselves to someone like Valve, or at least someone who values Valve's principles. And I hope they mean 2007 Valve, because today Valve are merely a bunch of pathetic greed whores. Alright, once again, I will not deny the impressive amount of effort and ambition placed in the Revolution 60. But stuff like this isn't anything special. The Tomb Raider team was small too, and it took 3 years to develop that game on really old technology. There are certain other game devs with much more excessive amounts of pride, don't get me wrong, but Giant Space Cat isn't a whole lot better in my eyes. They just made a subpar Mass Effect knockoff and were deemed controversial simply because Ms. Wu was attached to it, and there are a lot of fuckwitted jackholes that never even heard of the concept of separating the art from the artist. Suffice to say, they're gonna have to do some damn incredible stuff to earn my, admittedly worthless, respect, and seeing what they have planned for the future, I don't think they're getting anywhere near that anytime soon. And that's it, folks. Those are my thoughts on the game and their creators. To summarize my experience with it, Revolution 60 is a weak game with a weak story, weak gameplay, weak audio, and just general weakness. And here's a message to Giant Space Cat and Ms. Wu in regards to that glitch that ended my experience, of which I'll be offering in 2 different tones depending on your mood. First tone. Hey, Giant Space Cat. There's an issue with the game, and I was wondering if you would be willing to fix that for the betterment of your audience and general customers. Thank you. Second tone. What the hell are you doing sitting on your asses for over a month, you fucking idiot? Do you want to lose a very tiny amount of faith in your fan base? Fix the goddamn game! And thus ends this overlong, overblown, overdone 3-part saga. They say there's gonna be a sequel to this game at some point in the future, but I'll be damned if I ever even look at it. Still, despite my criticism and or general apathy for them, I wish Ms. Wu and Giant Space Cat all the best. We'll be going back to regular controversy stuff in the next episode, and I thank you all for watching. Now let's finish this off in style. Yes, I seriously mean to be brass, this game is a mess, I've wasted my cash, it sure is a pity Revolution 60 that you have to go in the trash. Oh, and thanks to these two for helping me out. Links to their channels are in the description and in the outro too. Seriously, I'm really happy I got to work with you two. You're awesome. Really awesome. Okay, bye!